All right, good day, good evening, good morning, wherever you are right now. My name is Francis John Solentino, and I am here today to showcase my project named What the Fee. So, first, let me introduce myself. My name is Francis John Solentino, and I have been a full stack developer for almost 7 months already. And my main technologies are React JS as my front end framework, and MongoDB and PostgreSQL as my databases, and I also use Firebase and Squabase for integrations, as well as for my backend, I've used Node.js and with Express framework, as well as Laravel for full stack implementations of systems. And yeah, that's about it for my technology stack. And also, I write codes or programs in TypeScript, mainly in TypeScript, Python, PHP, Java, and C. So what I'm going to discuss first is introduction. I'm going to read out to you about the background of the study, as well as the statement of the problem and project scope. Next will be the project or the system overview. I'm going to show you the overall architecture of the system, how it works from the front end to the back end. And then next would be the system requirements. So introduction. So the purpose of this study is I'm going to eradicate the problem in handling financial management or fees in our organization, because I am part of an organization where we handle such events for my co-students, as well as handling fees from them, college fee, because they're the one who are going to pay us college fee for conducting events for their events. So basically, what it implies is that their paid college fee are the reason why there are conducted events also for them. So number one is conventional education payment systems implementation. Of course, every organization in our university still uses the traditional way of handling payment system. And we foresee that there are a lot of limitations from it, especially in management. A lot of students who are going to pay their fees. Next would be challenges for administrator and students. Yeah, that's automatically part of the traditional education payment system. So whereas us administrators are having difficulties and challenges for handling these kinds of tasks. Number three is that I might just press my camera. There we go. Advantages of a student fee management system. So with this system that we created, particularly I developed, is that we're going to improve the student fee by having this system here. So these are the statement of the problem. So fiscal officers and students face payment challenges. So that is the number one most problem here in our current situation, where as we haven't still started on using the system yet. Number two would be the time consuming of data transfer and misplacement of records. It's pretty clear that the problem is misplacement of records. So basically, this kind of tasks that's been given to the fiscal officers are totally handling papers as the main records for the payments. So it is not sometimes, but it is one of the most hassle tasks given to them for the fiscal officers. Number three, difficulty in tracking and organizing records. And number four, inaccuracies in data transfer and receipt management. So it is pretty clear, right? The statement of the problem. So next. So project scope, objectives, and limitations. Number one, the development of a student fee management system. Of course, I'm here presenting to you the system. So it is already developed in local only, but soon I am going to post this one, because for the meantime, I'm faced a lot of difficulties yet, because the system consists of a lot of components that are needed to be deployed individually. Next would be the scope, fee collection, record keeping, user roles, and security. So that's the main scope of the system. Project limitations, integration, third-party services, and accessibility. With the integration, I've integrated real-time communication as well as payment integration. So that's it. For the third-party services, I haven't utilized third-party services. It's because mainly in the security, because there are times that third parties are, for me, it might be like prone to data breach, and so on. So it will be explained later. Objectives: streamline fee collection, enhance security, improve record keeping, reduce errors, and cut costs. Provide data insights, ensure scalability. So these are the project scope, objectives, and limitations. So I hope it's pretty clear for you guys who are watching this. So for the system overview, so these are the entire overview of the system, or let's just say the structure or the architecture of the system. So basically, as you can see in the client side, there are two panels. Number one would be the admin panel, and number two would be the end users panel. So let's first discuss on the admin panel. So basically, the admin panel utilizes QR scanner for authentication only, right? As you can see here in this label here, it says that for authentication only, QR scanner. So basically, the admins are still students in our university. So us person responsible for using the systems, we have our ID here. I'm not going to show you the full details, but we have our ID here that has the QR. So this will serve as the one of the main proponents for security. So in the system, it will scan this ID. Then if it's authenticated and authorized to access the system, then that's it. That is how we can use the system in the admin panel. So in this huge box here, as you can see that there are two servers running on Express, and next would be the Laravel. So in the Express server, if you're going to check the overview of the structure, is that its use is purposely for the authentication, right? From here to sending email and etc. Now, if we look at on the Laravel server, is everything where the CRUD operations are located. So CRUD means create, read, update, and delete, and it handles request and response. So next, let's talk about first the Express server. So after the QR scanning, is the data will meet this let's say algorithm here that says advanced encryption standard. So basically, this algorithm or encryption standard is one of the encryption standards, modern encryption standards out there that's been used by many systems. So I've utilized that also in our system. So take note that our system consists of 4 layers of security. Number 1 would be the QR scanning. Number 2 would be the question and answer portion that's been set up while or during the register part of the system. So if you were an admin, so you need to register first, of course, and then right after registering your credentials, the next part would be entering 5 questions as well as its corresponding answers as serves as one of the security options in our system. Then after that, if you're already on the last part of the authentication, then an email will be sent through your registered Gmail. So it is basically sending a one-time password. Then after all the processes, of course, the results will be, or the response will be entering the middleware for validation. So I've developed a middleware for all the validation of the authentication. And after that, then of course you are now authenticated, and you will be the user will proceed, or the system will proceed on the Laravel server. So that's all for the authentication part powered by Express server. Now let's go on to the student side. So basically, the students platform is a mobile application, but I've utilized here the PWA, or what we call progressive web apps. So basically, this kind of technology is that you don't have to code on a native language just to run a mobile application. So I can code on just simply on the React website framework, and I just had to plug the PWA plugin. Then my application is now downloadable and can run into the mobile devices like your iPhone, Android, and so on. So that's the and user platform here, the student. So basically, for the student, they just have to log in using the Laravel's built-in authentication made by Sanctum, and then once authenticated, then you can access all the data powered with the Laravel here. So also I have implemented a pusher real-time update with this, right? So basically, the client, or I mean, the admin can send the receipt to the student so that the student can view their receipt via this platform here. And then I've also implemented the PayMongo API as a payment platform so that the student can pay through the mobile application. Then, yeah, the database using PostgreSQL, and that it's already been deployed in the Railway Cloud database. And yeah, that's it for the entire architecture. So I hope it's understandable for you. I'm really sorry for my the way I speak and talk and the grammar, because I'm not that good in speaking English. But anyways, I'm just explaining in simplest terms and layman's terms. Next is the system requirements. So I'm just going to read the user roles and permission. Student. So the student will be using the end user platform. So it will be on the phone. And then the admin or administrators. So they have the second highest level of privilege in using the system. And next will be the super admin or the main system administrator. So these role or this user basically has the entire access of features in the system. So in system software, backend, what I've used is TypeScript as a programming language. Next, Laravel, the PHP framework for web applications. Express.js and all framework for web applications. PostgreSQL database. This is now PayMongo payment API, not Stripe. Simple mail transfer protocol, SMTP, a protocol for sending, relaying, and forwarding messages. AES Crypto.js, a JavaScript library with AES algorithm. HTTP proxy server, a server that acts as an intermediary between a client and a server. And pusher, RTC, a real-time communication layer between the server and the client. And for the front end, I've used React, Tailwind CSS, Material UI under JavaScript libraries. So moving on, I'm not going to discuss this. So this is our system model, and that's been implemented with use case diagram, decomposition diagram, classic diagram, and relational diagram. So I'm just going to run through this. So this is the use case diagram. So as you can see, there are two admins, one of the admin and the super admin, then the student. Next, so the decomposition diagram, although it's blurred because it's just a screenshot from the Figma, so I'm going to skip this. So as this one, this is just for the students and platform. Then the class diagram and the ERD. So that's all for the brief discussion about the entire system that I've developed. So now I'm going to show you to the system demonstration. Alright, so hello, welcome back. So now I'm going to demonstrate to you the entire system on how it works. So I'm making sure that my servers as well as client server are already working. As you can see here, that it's been already working for a couple of minutes now. So now let's go ahead on the system. So basically, when this is deployed, the users will be redirected to this page here, which is the landing page of the system. There we go. So this is the landing page. I'm just going to showcase you a little bit of the landing page. So basically, these are the team composed of individuals who made the what the fee possible. So let's press. Let's go back to the home and let's click start collecting. So now what I'm going to show you first is the registering an account. If you are you are an officer in the organization, then the executive officers will request you to register first in the system so that you can be able to use this system. So this is the registration form. So since I've already had a account, so I will be creating a dummy account. So I'm just going to type dummy account. For the student ID, this is this fake ID, right? So this is not real. Email dummy account. Since it is required to use or university email, then I'm going to type our university email. Then these are the requirements for the password. This is type it test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Let's copy it here so that we will not forget. Pasting it again, and position of let's say director. Then I'm just going to uncheck this because this terms is basically just to allow this user to be the default super admin. So I want this account just to be the admin. So then let's click register. And there you go. Student admin registered successfully. Now this was what I have said earlier, that after registering, the registered account will provide question and answer, 5 questions, as well as its answers for another round of verification. So I'm just going to speed up things. There we go. For that, hit confirm. Loading, still loading. And there you go. So the last type of verification is for the email verification. So the email that I type, like the dummy.account@carso.edu.ph, is a dummy email, right? So I'm just going to skip this one and then heading back to the next, which is the login and the actual usage of the system. Alright, so hello, I'm back again. So I just turned off my camera so that it won't be conflicting when I log in. So around a while ago, so I've shown you the registration part or process. Now I'm going to log in. So basically, let's just ignore that registered account. So it's because the email that I've used is a dummy email. So in this system, it is required that your account is verified through your Gmail. So without further ado, let's start on logging in. So as you can see, it requires to open my camera. So that's why I've turned off my camera here in the recording so that it won't be conflicting. So, and then I'm going to scan my ID. There you go. So I hope it scans, and there you go. And then, so that's the first part of the authentication, right? So process 1 out of 4. So there are 4 stages of authentication to make sure that our system is totally safe. So this is the second part, which is the question and answer portion. So as you can see here, this is a question or any kind of hint for you to solve as the user, so that the system will make sure that you are that one user who registered as the administrator for the system. So now I'm going to click submit. So next is 3 out of 4, as you can see. So I'm going to type my password here and proceed. Lastly, we have the email verification. So I'm going to check my email. Okay, so it's already been sent. So let's wait for a while. My device is slowing down. There we go. Let me change the email since I've used the university email. This one. So basically, this email verification will send a 4-digit PIN on the email that you use in the registration process. So basically, this is the last part or the last stage of your authentication. Basically, verifying that you really are that one. You're really that user or admin who has been given privileges to access the system. So there we go. I retrieved the OTP. So mind you, everyone, that this is just for demonstration purposes. So if you're one of the users or the admin who's actually using the system, so please bear in mind that you should not share this verification code. So it says that it's 5822. What if I type mistakenly? So basically, it's an invalid code. So just have to type it out again, 5821, and hit confirm, and voila. Let's close this tab. And there you go. I have entered the system. So this is the overview page of the system. So basically, it displays all the statistical data of the entire collection in our college. So total collection as of December 2, 2023 We also have the last 7 days amount or collection. A percentage came from calculating the difference of the last 7 days and the previous 7 days. Next, we have the 30 days of collection. And then the population percentage of each programs. So since I am in the CCIS, or the College of Computing Information Sciences, which consists of 3 programs, mainly the BIS-IT, the BIS-IS, and BIS-CS. So in IT, there are only 5 out of 728. So where do we get this data? So I've shown to you previously, or a while ago, about the architecture, that there is this end user platform that's been running on mobile. So there, with that platform, the students can register and log in. So basically, in registering the part, it will store their information will get stored in the database. So that is where the source of data came from. Next, we have the list of admins. As you can see here, that this is the dummy account that I've registered. It is now on the list of admins with its role of admin only. But in my case, in my account, I have the role of super, as well as this one account here that also says super as their role. And then we also get the latest payment, and then the auction. So in November, we collected 6,100. But bear in mind, this is just for demonstration purpose. We haven't used this on the real scenario. So next will be the payment records in pagination view. You can see that these are the payments that's been collected. Again, this is just for demonstration purpose only. And then here is where we can add the payment. This is for the admin settings. So as you can see, we've seen here the dummy account. So by default, all admins have the privilege to add new payments. So they don't have yet the privilege to delete a record of payment as well as add it. So me as the super admin, I have the control to set what type of privileges that the admin can use. So later on, I'm going to demonstrate to you that. And then these are the list of requests of the admins. So basically, if the admin wants to delete a record, and if he or she has the privilege to do so, then he can create a request to delete a record. Example here, one of the examples here. And then for the expenses, of course, the organization has also expenses that's going to be, used the college fee collection. So basically, it will add a record here, then subtract the remaining balance of the total collected amount. Then lastly, we have here all of the receipts been already collected. So if I click one example, so it will display the details of the receipt. And also, it could be draggable. As you can see, it changes its position, and then it can be archived. There you go. So as you can see, it's archived. So here are the list of archived receipts. Then I can also send this, but I'm going to show it to you later. First is you're going to go to this panel, record. So these are all the recorded payments. So there are 2 types of filtering if you are the admin who wants to search a record. So one will be the student ID and then AR number. So first is student ID. So basically in our student ID, the format is 3 starting numbers followed by a dash, then followed by 5 numbers. So if I'm going to type 4 starting numbers followed by a dash, then that one, so it is an invalid student ID. So the system strictly follows the formatting of the student ID. So if I type my student ID here, so I haven't created any payment yet. So if I type 0374 211 0374, let's try AR number, AR01, AR01, AR25. There you go, AR2. AR25, and so on. So let's try again the student ID. I think it's bugging a little bit. There you go again. So basically, it's just this is just the payment that I have been paid. 543. That's like 543. There you go for the student ID 543. So these are all the payments of the student that has 21100434553. Next would be accepting a payment. So let's try to accept one payment. 1, 2, 3. So if the student is not existing, so basically the student not found. Let's try here the account that I've created from the end user. Then I'm going to accept the payment. So this is the indicator of the last AR number. So the admin must type the incrementation of this AR number, which is AR29, and then the amount of the payment the student wishes to pay. So if Miss Shell pays 500, then add payment, then yes. There you go, payment added, and as well as the receipt. So this receipt can be downloadable. So if you press this button here, there you go. So you can see it's downloaded. So if we open, and there you go. So this is the downloaded or backup receipt in my hard drive. But if you click this page here, AR29, right? So this is her AR, or acknowledgement receipt. So it is also backed up in the system. So as you can see. So now let's proceed to this panel here, which is the admin settings. So on the other browser, I've logged in an account that only has the admin privilege. So as you can see, compared to my account, I've accessed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages, while on the admin only, it can access only 4. So let's try to demonstrate if we want to delete the record as an admin. So let's click yes. So as you can see, I am not allowed to make a delete action because on here on this account, right? So this is the account that I've been using. So I only have the privilege to add new payment. So now if I am the super admin and I want to grant this account can delete. So let's click can delete, and there we go. So this account can now delete a record. So let's try to check again. If the admin wants to delete this record, or let's try to delete the latest payment, which is this one. Click yes. So request created. So that doesn't mean if your account as the admin has the privilege to delete, you can directly delete. You're going to create a request. So going back to this panel, so where can we see the request? So it is on this page here. So let's check. So this is the request that's been created. Then as you can see, we can check it by this December 2, which is today, 10:22, which is this time. It's already 10:23. So if you want to view this, let's just create this triple dot here, then click view, and then there you go. So there are two types of options. We have the accept and decline. So if you want to decline, of course, the request is declined, but in this case, we're just going to click accept to show to you that the admin can delete the record after the super admin if he or she will accept the request. So let's check if the record is now been deleted. So as you can see, it's already been deleted. AR29. Of course, on this side too, AR29. There you go. So now we also have a data auditing in our system. So where can we see all the logs? So it's located on the same page for the admin settings. There we go. So as you can see, I've set the permission of the admin account true for deleting. So it is viewed on the logs, right? Now the admin requested a deletion, right? So I've accepted that request. Then of course, the admin deleted the record of AR. And as you can see here, there is also a recording of the deletion record. So This is the purpose of logs or data audit is for monitoring what actions being made in this system here, so that in case if there is a record, specific record that's been missing or deleted, then we can track it, who deleted it and when, what time. So there are 5 types of label: delete, update, post, archived, restored, and yeah, that's 5. So that's the types of logs. So I've already shown you also the new request rise. So let's try here in the expenses. So basically, if the organization requests something like an event, so that needs budget, so the admin can type it here, the super admin rather, and then the details, etc. So of course, of all the expenses being made, it requires a liquidation report or LR. So to eradicate or remove hassle of making an LR for the fiscal committees, they can simply click this generate LR. So let's click, and it will produce a generated LR. So let's check the liquidation report. There you go. So these are all the list of expenses being made with its corresponding um, data, date requested, the title, amount borrowed, and then the total expenses. So that's all for this. And then lastly here for the receipts. Now I am going to show you the student side so that we can check if what will happen if I send the receipt to the student. So this is the the student's application. So let's start. So I'm log in the student that I've made a payment record with. So basically, if a deletion or if a record's been deleted, so the student will have a refund. So take note that its balance before I delete the record is 400. So after I delete the record, it will gain back her remaining balance to 700. So as you can see here, there is no December 2, 2023 collection because I deleted that. Now, this is the notification. So when I send this, so just simply click what type of AR. So this is the AR number, right? But this is already been deleted, so let's archive this. I also want to show you if the student wants to pay via GCash, where we integrated the payment. So I'm going to type, let's say if Shellwell wants to pay 500 pesos, let's click pay. So it's redirected to checkout by the Mongo. There we go, e-wallet. So Shellwell, and her GCash number, of course. Take note that this is for testing only. There we go, authorized test payment. There we go. So the payment has been successfully received. So let's go back to the dashboard. So Shellwell paid 500, right? So its remaining balance would be 200. Let's check. There we go. So the payment has successfully been created. So paid by a GCash. There we go. So label partial. So the label also will also automatically create on its own depending on the amount being paid and the remaining balance. So if the remaining balance is 0, then its label is full. So let's go back to our admin. Let's reload this. And let's try to send a receipt to the student. Let's check it here. So let's try to send this AR2 to the student. So let's type the student ID. So it's 00123. Then now add a little note. So thank you for paying your fee. Click this to view receipt. So if I press send, there will be a bell notification, sound of the bell notification. So take note of that. I'm going to press send. So as you can hear the background, and also if you check it here, so there is a label of one that says new notification. So if I'm going to send another receipt again, 110023, thank you for paying your fee. Click to view your receipt, and I'm going to press send. There you go. Then it's already two. It's going to click that, so it will load those notifications. So if you're going to click this, there you go. I can now see the receipt. Also this one. So let's empty the remaining balance for Shell Whale. So let's collect it from the admin. So this one, I'm going to create a new payment. Search. There you go. The remaining balance of 200. It's the same as here, 200. So today, AR number of AR30, then 200. Create a payment. And there you go. Let's download it. Then if we want to check, let's go back in the records. Then let's try to check it here. There you go. So, Shell Whale has fully paid her college fee. We're going to check on the phone. Its remaining balance must be 0. So if we're going to create a payment again for Shell Whale, let's try what will happen if we're going to make a payment again for this student here, which its remaining balance is already 0. So what will happen? It will void the payment because it says here that already paid the remaining balance. So that's how I developed the system. I made it super dynamic. Let's go back. There you go. So again, let's send her payment. Her receipt using the admin only account. So it is AR30, right? Let's type her student ID with a note. Thank you for paying fully pay in your college fee. Then let's press send. Take note of the sound from the background. There you go. And then let's check. There you go. And then try to thank you for fully paying. There you go. Then let's click this, and voila! This is now the AR. The AR or the receipt is going to be displayed on the student's end. So let's click Logout now. And then there you go, and as well as on the admin, let's click close, and for the basic admin, let's log out. There you go. So I guess that's all for the entire demonstration. I think I didn't forget any or one of the feature in our system. So thank you so much for listening and watching, and I hope you enjoyed and learned a lot from my demonstration as well as discussion. And see you around next time. Bye-bye.